Welcome back to the Music Industry Podcast. I'm Alex from Burstamo, and this is
Maddie,
also from
Burstamo.
And this is the Music Industry Podcast, where we give you access to people and information, opinions that wouldn't ordinarily be accessible from people or independent artists outside of the industry. So if you're looking to grow, progress in the music industry, then this is the podcast for you. So we talk about things like Spotify, the news, TikTok, a lot of TikTok.
That.
So sit back, relax, and I hope you enjoy the episode.
Welcome back to the Music Industry Podcast. Today we are joined with someone super exciting. We're joined with Chloe Adams, who you've probably heard of from TikTok. I'd say that's where most people know
maybe
you.
so, yeah. Either TikTok or Facebook, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, we'll definitely
Facebook.
discuss Facebook at some point, because that's one that I feel like we never discuss anymore.
Yeah, I didn't look at Facebook before we came, so that'll be an interesting.
Yeah.
A bit of info on Chloe is 1.4 million followers on TikTok.
Craziness.
That's ridiculous.
Craziness.
I think I knew of you from Dirty Thoughts.
Yes.
So that went viral on TikTok. When was that?
Well, it was released back in November last year.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like doing its best at the minute. Like it's doing better than when
It's picked up traction now.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to me.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people are just finding it now.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Which is so
What's
weird.
caused that then?
I don't know. I think that's the beauty of TikTok, is that people kind of find music as they're going, and one person could post one video and it kind of blows up a sound somewhere, and I reckon it could be that. There's no real like theory to it. It's kind of just no one knows the math behind it, but it's what happens.
Trends.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's super exciting. I mean, I'm kind of tempted to start from the beginning then.
Go
if
on.
Facebook is where you started off, I'm guessing?
Yes, it is. Yeah, I think like Facebook is where I would say my beginnings started in music.
Okay.
I started posting like covers and things on Facebook using the meme style, that trend was going on Facebook. And I don't want to say I was the first to do it, but I was definitely probably one of the first handful of people to do it, where you kind of post the cover like, oh, I've mashed up Justin Bieber's song with Katy Perry's song or something like that. And I would just sing covers of like my favourite artists like Taylor Swift, Katy Perry, all of those kind of people. I would post them on Facebook and people really reacted to it, especially when I would use the meme style things that people use on TikTok now.
How much did you change the style? Was it your style?
Yeah, it was super poppy. I mean, I when I first started, I would post like pop punk versions of things, which is not the music I'm making right now, but at the time that's what I was listening to and that's what I was really into. So that's what I was doing. And people really liked it. But there was this thing that came into play where Facebook banned people posting covers. And you'd kind of have the video taken down. And I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? This is what this is how I've been building a following. Like, I don't know where I'm going to go now. So that's when I started posting original songs on Facebook, and I posted my first song, which I released back in 2017. It was called The Doctor Said. It was super, around all about mental health, and I put it on Facebook, and I put the meme on there saying "Girl writes song about depression," and the amount of people that connected with it it did far better than any of my covers, and people kind of went crazy for it and was saying like, I can't believe you've said things that I've never heard in a song before. And it was like really emotional to see that happen. But that's kind of like the first thing that I did that people might know me from is that video.
Did your existing audience help, do you think, in terms of getting that extra push initially before it went viral for that
I think
track?
From building a little following from the covers definitely helped. Yeah.
And when you say little following, how big do you think it was?
I really can't remember at the time, but it probably like 100,000. So it wasn't a little following whatsoever. But it was, I didn't really have any followers on any other platforms at the time. So there was kind of just this group of people who was watching my Facebook page.
Yeah.
But posting The Doctor Said made it go way bigger.
So that was 2017.
Yeah, that was 2017. Yeah.
So when you made that transition from covers to originals, did you then realize, wow, I've got the potential here to be a musician and release my own music?
Exactly. I mean, up until that point, I'd been waiting to release original music. I was working with my husband, Matt, who is a producer and a writer. like we started working together in like 2015, writing songs, and I'd always wanted to be an artist like Avril Lavigne or someone like that. And we were writing loads of pop songs, and we just weren't releasing them because we were like, we have to wait till like a major label comes in. Like that's not what you do. You don't release songs until major label like takes it up, which just isn't the case anymore, particularly now. But kind of then it really wasn't the case either. So when the whole Facebook ban came in, we were like, it's our only choice. We have to do that. We have to release our original songs now, to give content to the people who are following you. So.
And the growth was organic on Facebook, or completely, or did you run ads?
I think to begin with, we used to post, we used to like spend like £10 on an ad to boost the cover, and then after that, we didn't need to do it anymore because there was just, I don't know if that's still the case, because obviously you probably have to spend a lot more money to get it in front of the same amount of people that £10 got you in front of in 2017. But yeah,
it sounded like you sort of did everything before it became popular, and those things that you did, definitely people were still trying. Like I'd say even last year people were trying to do that, and I don't think it would work the same now. And did you do the same thing with other platforms? So when you went from Facebook, you did get a video go viral on YouTube as well.
Yes, it was the same. It was the same video.
Okay, so how did that happen?
Well, it was the same kind of thing. I would post the covers I was posting on Facebook, on YouTube as well, and it was much more of a slower growth on YouTube at the time, because I think it had a lot more content on YouTube than it did on Facebook. But I was posting covers and not really getting a lot of attention, but I probably had gained like 20,000 subscribers at that point from the covers. I posted The Doctor Said, and then the second song which I released was called Pretty's on the Inside, and they kind of blew up on themselves, which to me says that it's the song that made them blow up. It's not kind of because it worked on YouTube and it worked on Facebook. So that's the angle that I was taking.
A lot of people who listen to this podcast, they think that if you're a cover artist, you're stuck being a cover artist. Did you find that there was less people who watched your original track or listened to your original track than those who watched your covers?
Maybe. I mean, I was terrified of that myself, of becoming a cover artist, because while I loved like posting covers of like my favorite artists, like that's not what I wanted to be. I wanted to be the artist. So I was scared of that as well. But I think, the songs really spoke to people. They weren't kind of just saying the same thing that everybody else was saying, I guess, at the time. So kind of, I guess that grabbed people's attention, and it didn't matter whether they cared about covers or not. They liked the song. So
it was just the lyrics that spread that message, or did you include that in the content of like YouTube and Facebook?
So you mean in like the video?
Captions, titles, the meme banners, things like that.
We didn't actually, I can't remember whether we tried the meme thing on YouTube for a while and it didn't work. So I was just posting the video on YouTube. So I guess that would say that it was kind of the lyrics, and they were so truthful, you know what I mean? It was kind of really brutally honest. And I think that that's something that people weren't doing at that time. I think nowadays there's a lot more. I say nowadays, it's like 4 years ago, but I think more people are speaking about those kind of things openly. Yeah. But at the time, no one was like, yeah.
How did you feel about yourself and your career at that time? Can you remember? Did you feel successful?
No.
Or did you know?
No, I mean, Matt and I started to make a living from those songs, from music. We were in a wedding band as well. So we were kind of doing music for a living, but we were kind of 50-50 making a living from original music, other 50% from our wedding band. And I guess like in a way, like when we were seeing like other artists, having to work other jobs to fund their thing, that made me feel successful for sure. But I was still just like working from the bedroom, so
still very far from where you wanted to
and
be.
that's like still what I'm doing. Like I'm still working from the bedroom. It's just like on a slightly bigger scale now.
Slightly, 1.4 million.
I just mean like, like there's slightly more people listening.
Yeah. Definitely is. Definitely. Yeah. I think it's a good time to speak about TikTok, because...
Sure. I mean, was that the next step for you, TikTok?
Yeah. So I kind of Facebook was slowing down a little bit, but I was still releasing original music on Spotify and stuff, and kind of still building that. And then it was in the pandemic, you know, everyone was saying to me, like, you need to do TikTok to get your music out there. And I was one of those people, like, back in, like, 2021 that was like, no, TikTok's still for, like, you know, like 13-year-old girls. And I don't want to do dances and stuff. Like, that's not me. I just want to release music. But after a while, you know, I was seeing some of my favourite artists going on there, and I was like, it is cool, isn't it? And I was like, it can be cool. So I started just the same way I started with YouTube and Facebook. I posted covers and tried to get people listening on TikTok. That's the way I
It always
started.
comes back to that.
Yeah, I think
Every
that's really
conversation we're having
interesting.
at the moment is artists that are doing well on TikTok started with covers or are still posting covers. I think there's a bit of a stigma attached to it still, where artists feel like they're not being successful if they're getting their views from covers, but that's how you grew your audience initially, and you're still
and I still
doing
post
now.
covers. Yeah. I mean, I do love doing it because,
I
you
think
know,
that's key.
like when you're in your bedroom and you've got like a little keyboard or you're sat there with your guitar, like, you listen to your favourite songs anyway. So I'm like, well, I might as well post it online. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People like it when I post it online, so I might as well. Like,
Do you find that the content is pretty easy to make purely because you just enjoy doing it?
yes, I think there's times when I've been like, oh, I'm going to do this song though because it's viral at the minute. And I'm like, but I don't like necessarily like love the song, but I'm going to try it. And it never works like if I try it like that. But if I'm actually like jamming with a song that I genuinely love, it must just sound better. And those are the ones that do really
Reflected in the
well.
views? Yeah, like
Yeah, reflected in views. They're the ones that kind of get more views, I guess, just because I'm so much more into them that it just sounds better.
Would you say there's a particular formula that works in terms of covers? Like, is it nostalgia songs? Is it trending songs? What works the best?
Again, I tried the whole trending songs thing, and it can work, but mostly I would say nostalgic songs work. I did a cover of "Where Is the Love" by Black Eyed Peas. And that kind of went insane, like more than any of my. I still see it, like I'm just randomly on my feed sometimes watching someone's like, I don't know, like video of like a makeup tutorial, and it's my cover playing, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm like, that's so cool. But it was a cover that I did like a year and a half ago. Which
Do you see a lot of
crazy.
growth from that? People using your sound on random videos, even if it was posted like 2 years ago?
Yeah, massively. Yeah, I mean, just this morning I was on Instagram, and I was on like my For You page, not the For You page. What is it on Instagram?
Discovery page?
Yeah, the Discovery page. And I was like looking at a picture of like some girl's wedding dress, and I was like, oh, that's so nice. And then I clicked on it, and it was my cover on it. I was like, that is actually insane.
And obviously, I guess you don't get paid for that at all.
No, but it kind of just spreads the word about you.
But it's exposure.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Except obviously when someone kind of reposts the sound and your name is nowhere to be seen, so no one really knows who you
see.
are. But a lot of people are very nice and kind of like comment being like, it's at Chloe Adams Music, by the way.
I love
Which
that
is nice.
attitude, though.
Yeah,
I actually love it.
yeah.
I think the industry as a whole is quite angry at platforms like YouTube and TikTok and Spotify, where they're like, we're not getting paid enough. But I think that's the best attitude to have. The idea that every time someone's putting it out, it's just more exposure for you. And things like Spotify in the beginning, you were still getting streams even though you were putting the song directly on Facebook and YouTube.
Yeah, people were moving from Facebook to Spotify.
Yeah.
Another thing that was big that started that I noticed after Facebook was, have you ever heard of like Nightcore versions of songs?
I don't think so.
It's a massive trend on YouTube where people basically take your song and they pitch it up. And
I've
make
seen
it
that on
really
TikTok
fast.
at the moment.
Yeah, it's a big trend on
like
TikTok as well.
Cool Kids? Is that the latest one?
Yes, I think so. Yeah. But they kind of stick an anime character on the front that kind of looks like a blonde girl or something, a little bit like me or somehow. And they get crazy views. Like some of the old songs of mine, like some of them have like 200 million views on YouTube. Like someone's picked it up. And it's difficult to listen to the original song actually after, because I'm like, it sounds really good.
I prefer that one.
I'm like, crap.
Including covers, how many songs do you think you've released?
How many songs have I released? I've never
Including
actually.
covers. If you had to guess, on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok.
Hundreds.
Hundreds.
Yeah. I've been working at it a long time, like kind of grafting it, kind of trying to get people to listen to the original music through that way. if there's anything that I am, I'm determined.
Yeah.
There's that, I've been determined for a long time, and I'm not going to let anyone stop me. You know what I mean? I'm going to shove myself in front of you on the screen.
Do you find that, because TikTok's probably your main platform at the moment, do you find you're having to invest quite a bit of time on the For You page, following other artists, knowing what's trending, or are you literally just taking your own route and being like, sod everyone else, I'm going to try and do my own stuff?
Yeah, I definitely watch what other artists are doing because I genuinely love them. But yeah, I kind of just tend to do my own thing most of the time. Or I'll kind of see an idea for a video, like someone's done like a day in the life, and I'm like, that's a good idea, I'm going to do that kind of thing. But I'm a massive fan of TikTok. Before I even posted covers, I was like, well, I need to learn about it, so I'm gonna see what kind of stuff people are posting on there. And I literally became addicted, so I think that helps because I knew what people were doing on it and stuff.
And with the first track that went viral on there that was an original was Dirty Thoughts, right? So what happened there? Did you just post yourself singing it and it went from there, or did people take it and make a trend out of it? What was the journey of it?
I posted like a 30-second clip of the song, just like I did with like my covers. People probably thought it was a cover or something, I don't know. And I think I just said like, I've just written this, which I literally had like the day before. Matt and I were like working in our little home studio. And I came in, I was like, Matt, I've got this really good idea to like write a song called Dirty Thoughts. People can't swipe past that, you know what I mean? It's going to catch people's attention in like 3 seconds.
So you're thinking about that, but really, as you're writing the song, you're thinking about how it's going to land on TikTok.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like, you don't just think like, I'm going to write this for TikTok, but it's somewhere in the back of your mind, like, it could work there. So yeah, I said to him, let's write a song called Dirty Thoughts. You know, no one's going to swipe past that, like some random blonde girl singing this on TikTok. You know, you wouldn't expect it. So we wrote it, literally just wrote the chorus, and Matt sent me the bounce of just the chorus, and I stuck it up on TikTok. And
before you'd even finished the song?
Yeah, like we hadn't like finished, like we hadn't written any verses or anything, which was really annoying because like there was a few people who did their own version, so they wrote a verse to it. And I was like, that's so much better than anything we're going to come up with. I was like, what are we going to do? And people were like loving their version. I was like, oh my God, we need to write our own verse now to our own song. What are we going to do? But, you know, I ended up really liking the song and what we wrote over it. So I guess that doesn't matter, but yeah.
So 30 seconds of the chorus went up. People already were duetting it.
Yeah.
People were using the sound?
Yeah.
For just random stuff?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, like just random stuff. Random videos, like over like get ready with me's or like just anything that you'd see on TikTok. And then loads of people were doing kind of duets and doing their own version of the song. And yeah, it kind of just went crazy.
So you finally finished the song?
Yeah, we finished the song. Yeah.
And then how did you promote it from there? Because the video that went viral wasn't directly sort of, it was just promoting the chorus. How did you get people to then move across and actually listen to the full song on Spotify or on Apple Music?
I was like just posting loads of videos like, this is out now, go and listen to it. I was making videos with the sound, which a lot of people obviously do when they're kind of trying to promote their music. I did like an open verse challenge, which was really cool, like because I got to see people make way better verses than whatever we wrote. But yeah, I was kind of just using TikTok as a platform to promote it.
Did it get the same views, or did you kind of have to sacrifice a few views in terms of because you're plugging your track?
I think people just really liked the song, and like some of them were doing as well as like the original video. I even like when it was out, I basically re-recorded the 30-second clip, and it was me on a completely different day, like as though I just kind of recorded it, and that did just as well as the original video. So again, that to me says that it was the song that did it.
Yeah, I completely agree, because I think, I mean, you can see it now, there are people doing exactly that, and the videos aren't necessarily doing well. I think the thing that you spoke about was quite important, is repeating videos, but also just promoting and not being afraid to promote. I think that a lot of artists do get very caught up in the idea of like, I don't want to shove the music down my audience's throat, and I don't want to make them uncomfortable or make them like force them to stream it. But TikTok's a great platform for that.
Yeah.
Because it's gone so quickly. If it's on the For You page, it's kind
Yeah.
of gone. Do you find that promoting versus like original material, it's quite easy to just do them both at the same time?
Yeah, because I think people want to see the videos that you're making where you could put the sound over a day in the life or whatever you're doing, you know, over like, or you could make creative transition videos or whatever you want to do that is just as interesting to people, you know, and it just happens to have the song in the background and then people are like, oh, I really like that song, let's go stream it. I don't think there's any shame in that.
No, I completely agree.
In terms of length of videos, now on TikTok it's got longer and longer what you can upload. Are you sticking to a certain length of video, or have you started using that ability to upload longer videos?
I mean, I really haven't taken advantage of that yet, if I'm honest. I still kind of post kind of short clip videos.
My gut says it shorter is better.
Yeah,
I think when
that's
people
what
see that
TikTok
little
is
thing
for,
at the bottom and it's going really slowly, you kind of want to swipe it to the next thing.
Yeah. I think that is such a key thing with TikTok is like grab people's attention quickly because like, you know, I know because I use TikTok myself when I'm going through it, I'm like, you know, like swiping that fast. Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of like you need to kind of catch people's attention within like the first second and a half, if we're being honest. And I think that's maybe where some people like go wrong with it is they kind of wait for the great part of the song to kick in, you know, like 10 seconds, 15 seconds in, and you kind of need to just get to that straight away.
So, I mean, that's one of your tips, but is there anything else that you think that you're doing that captures people within that first couple of seconds, whether it's text, whether it's like where you are and like in the house where it's shot, anything like that is really capturing people, do you think?
I mean, I mostly use lyrics to catch people's attention, and I put the lyrics on the video, like here they are. You can read them as we go.
On the TikTok app.
So like with Dirty Thoughts I kind of wrote I get dirty thoughts about you. So it's, you know, if people have their volume down then they see it as well. So yeah, I think that's the best way that I kind of shove it in people's faces immediately. Yeah.
So before you went on TikTok, how many streams do you have on Spotify?
So I think I had around maybe 200,000 monthly listeners.
Oh, okay, that's really good. And then now it's at what's the monthly listeners?
Yeah, it's like 2.5 million, which is crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, it's absolutely mental.
So you'd say TikTok is what was exponential.
Yeah, definitely gave it that first push. I think obviously Spotify is amazing in that it you know, it shows your song sometimes to people who are listening to, I don't know, an artist similar, like but TikTok was the biggest push for me, particularly Dirty Thoughts, because people then go and listen to everything else that you're releasing. And
do you stick to a similar theme on TikTok of content then? Do you feel like once you've got your thing you stick to it, or do you feel like you need to vary your content once in a while?
I think it's good to vary your content. When I started, though, I would literally just post covers in the same bedroom, because there's people who haven't seen your previous videos who see that one for the first time, and it doesn't matter whether you were in the same place the day before. But now that kind of like there's quite like a few people watching, I like to show, you know, different parts of my life on there too, so that, you know, like, I don't know, I think you get invested more.
Do you think it adds some depth to you?
Yeah, you can build your own world around what you're doing, around your artistry and stuff, and people can kind of see in the studio. And do you know what I mean? Like it's, but I still do love to post those same kind of covers where I'm sat in the same position.
Do they do best out of all of your content? You'd say that gets the new audience the most?
Yeah, I think it gets the new audience the most, unless, you know, we kind of post a little snippet of a song that's really low lyric, eye-catching, ear-catching, whatever you'd say. Yeah.
And how's the reaction from the industry been to you? With you growing from TikTok, have you seen support from other artists? Have you seen support from streaming platforms? Are they putting you on these editorial playlists?
Yeah, I mean, like one of the craziest things to me was when Dirty Thoughts first came out. I'm a massive fan of Bella Porch, who is a big TikTok artist herself. But she kind of Instagram messaged me and she was like, oh my God, I love this song. And I actually didn't see it for 3 months. So I didn't reply.
Because it went into your requests?
It was on my Instagram request. I didn't reply, and I was like, and then I saw it 3 months later. I was like, I was like,
You
that
just
is so
ghosted
annoying.
Bella Boy.
I know. I was like, oh, Bella, we could have been best friends. But yeah, sadly that hasn't happened. But yeah, the industry support has been crazy as well. I think a lot of because I've spoken to a lot of like labels in the past year, even though I'm still independent. A lot of like the A&Rs and stuff kind of are like, we can't believe that you've just done this by yourself. Before, like now I have management and stuff, but before that it was literally just me replying to my emails, and it was me like my husband Matt taking pictures of me for the artwork, you know what I mean, so they were kind of just like, we can't believe you've been able to do this by yourself. And I was just like, like the internet just lets you do that now. Anyone can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you've been approached by labels. Is there a reason that you are wanting to stay independent?
I think the benefits of me being independent right now are really good. And I kind of am in a place where I'm like, I can fund this myself, and, like I can do this myself. If you have anything better to offer me, then...
I have to say my gut feeling is like, I don't know what a label
agree.
would offer you. I don't actually know what they could do for you above and beyond what you're doing already, especially as you don't really need the advice. Normally it's like an artist who's got like just music, and then then the label's like, you should get on TikTok, whereas you're well beyond that now.
Well, thank you. But yeah, I mean, like as well, like having brought like management on board as well, I kind of like have that expert opinion, I guess, as well through them.
Yes.
So yeah, it's kind of like it feels very well rounded in terms of where it's going, and the team. We've got a little team and stuff now, whereas obviously last year it was literally just me and Matt. But yeah.
So who else is on your team? Have you got booking agents?
Yeah.
And how's that been for you doing live shows? Because I mean, that's completely different to your whole life of making your cover in your bedroom to suddenly playing in front of people.
Yeah, the live thing is still something I'm massively working on. But I did a show the other, 2 weeks ago. I was supporting a fellow TikToker, Katie Baser, who has that X and Y song, which is kind of going a bit mental at the minute. And it was like this sold out headline London show that she was doing. And when I sang Dirty Thoughts, every single person in the room, it felt like knew the lyrics, and I'd never felt that before. Like I never, obviously if I was singing a cover, then I would expect people to maybe know the lyrics, but when people knew that, I was like, this is actually insane. I feel like a real artist now. Do you know what I mean? This feels like it's gone from the bedroom, now I'm here.
So you're supporting that artist?
Yes.
Did you see like an uptake in followers or anything like that from that?
Yeah, definitely. I kind of went out after the show and I was meeting some of the fans who were leaving, and yeah, they were all like really keen to kind of like take photos and follow me on Instagram, and they were kind of saying like, oh my god, I had no clue that you sang Dirty Thoughts. Like I've loved that song for ages, and like had no idea who you were. And I'm like, yeah, that's me.
And how are you finding Instagram as a platform? Because I think one thing a lot of people on TikTok struggle with is taking someone from TikTok to 100%. Anywhere else, really.
Yeah.
Have you seen that people are moving across?
Yeah, I think a lot less people than you would probably expect, though. So I'm kind of like working with Reels in the same way at the minute. But I found mostly that people move to Spotify. Like that's the bit, which to me, I don't care, because like that's my main goal, is for you to listen to my music. So
And looking at yours, like say Spotify for artists, would you say most of your streams come from the playlist they've put you on, or is it going to your profile?
Yeah, I think a lot of people just find it either through TikTok or through like the algorithm that Spotify is, because I'm not in a hell of a lot of like editorial playlists. I've definitely had a lot more support since Dirty Thoughts, but before that I'd never been placed in an editorial playlist ever. And that was another thing that like some of the label guys were saying, was like, oh my god, like why aren't you being supported by Spotify? Like this is crazy. Obviously now they're kind of showing the support, which is amazing, but before that
they could not support you.
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, before that it was solely organic, which again is crazy. Yeah.
Sounds like you didn't even need the editorials anyway.
I mean, they help. So
yeah, they do
I'll
help.
take it.
I'm not gonna lie.
If anyone's listening from Spotify.
Love you, Spotify.
So do you see your career going from now? Where are you working on? Where would you like to improve?
I think, I mean, my dream has always been to be a live act. So that is my next thing to accomplish. I really want to do sold out shows, kind of like I did with like, you know, the Katie Vaser show. So that's really, you know, where I want to be. But I also, I grew up listening to artists who are real album artists. You know, they release albums, and everything that I've done so far has kind of been singles. So that's something that I'm working on at the minute, is like my first mini album on my first EP. So yeah.
What's the plan for becoming a live artist then? Is it mainly just getting your booking agents to get you some shows?
Yeah, I think as many support slots as I can do. But
Supports
also
are the one, right?
Yeah.
Because you get in the audience of the headline act.
But also, yeah, I think the biggest thing is that the people who have like really great Instagram accounts where they have a lot of people who are engaging with them can sell out shows. So that's kind of like what I would like to do as well.
So you're finding if you bring them to Instagram, you are able to then kind of plug live shows as well.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Yeah. And also, are you going to concentrate mainly on the UK just for now, or are you...
No, I think a lot of people like come from different countries who listen to my music. I know there's like a really large amount of people in the US and in Asia. So you know, I want to go
you'll
worldwide.
basically you'll look at your Spotify for artists, see where everyone is.
Yeah, exactly.
And then go
Yeah,
there.
yeah. I think obviously like live wise, the UK is the best place to start for sure. But yeah, eventually I would like to be like worldwide touring artist. Yeah.
Cool. I think it's a good place to end it.
Yep.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for
Where can
having
people
me.
find you online?
Instagram,
Yeah.
Chloe Adams Music, Spotify, Chloe Adams, and TikTok, Chloe Adams Music.
Thank you so much. If you've watched on YouTube, make sure to give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you're listening on podcast platforms, make sure to leave a review, and we will see you in the next one.